published, 404 EDT, the 12th of May 2018, updated, 1408 EDT, the 12th of May 2018. This is the moment a boy racer broke down in tears in the back of a police car moments after he mowed down and killed a teenage student. Joshua Chirukara, 20, was arrested alongside Harry Cable, 18, after they knocked down William Dorey while joyriding in Whitley Bay, Tyneside. Both racers admitted to causing death by dangerous driving and were sent to a young offenders institution. Chirukara was sent for 6 years and 9 months, while Cable got 4.5 years. Both will be banned from driving for 4 years after their release. The CCTV footage shows the two joyriders racing around the area while also showing William Dorey out for a running. The clip stops just before the car crashes into the A-level student before later showing Chirukara shaking and with his head in his hands in the back of a police car. William was struck by a Renault Megane driven by Chirukara, who had been racing Cable's Vauxhall Corsa along the coast. Joshua Chirukara, 20, handcuffed in the back of a police car moments after he hit and killed a teenage jogger while joyriding. He is handcuffed and can be seen mouthing, "Oh my God." William's father, Hugh Dorey, 57, asked the killer drivers how they would feel if they were told by police that their child was killed by internal decapitation. The family described how their lives have been shattered for a few minutes of immature, selfish fun. Our lives have been shattered. Our loss is immeasurable. And why? For what? A few minutes of immature, selfish fun. Reckless stupidity at the hands of another. He lost his life in a wholly senseless, random manner. The CCTV footage also showed the seconds before Chirukara plowed into the unsuspecting William, who was out jogging. Pictures are the two cars being driven by Chirukara and Harry Cable, 18, there. Renault Megane was driven by Joshua Chirukara, who was racing Cable's Vauxhall Corsa along the coast. Only went for a run, not an activity usually associated with the risk of death. Except this time he did not come home. He will never come home. This is our opportunity to bring home to those responsible what they have done. They have inflicted a terrible wound on our family. They need to understand the enormity of what they have done, the depth of pain, hurt and anguish they have caused. A-level student William Dorey, 18, pictured, was out for a run when he was hit and killed by boy racers. For Will's life to end as it did is such a tragic waste. He had traveled halfway around the world, each time returning safely home. Yet, even though he was on the pavement, he was knocked down and killed a few yards from home, just because he went out for exercise and fresh air. How are you to come to terms with that? He added, it seems to be a case of immature, arrogant drivers behaving like idiots. He described the moment he came across the aftermath of a car smash and not realizing it was the scene of his teenage son's death. Mr. Dorey went to find his 18-year-old son William after he was late, returning from a jog to their home in Whitley Bay, North Tyneside. His wife Gil joined him at the scene and the police showed them a pair of glasses and smashed mobile phone that belonged to their son. In a statement at the court hearing of William's boy racer killers, the family said their lives would never be the same again. William Dorey, 18, was out for a run before the Renault Megane, driven by Chirukara, crashed into him. Describing the day of the tragedy, Mr. Dorey explained that their son had been preparing for his A-level exams when he decided to go for a run. His parents began to worry when he didn't return, and their worry increased when they saw two police cars flashed past their house. Mrs. Dorey asked her husband to go and check on their son, and he drove just a few hundred yards from their home when he came upon the scene of the crash. He said he saw a number of police cars but still half expected his son to appear. Mr. Dorey told the Chronicle Live, "At this point I didn't know what in front of me was the scene of my son's fatal accident." When he told his wife there had been an accident, she joined him at the scene. At the site, police asked them if their son wore glasses, and when they said yes, they were put in the back of a police car. Harry Cable, left, and Joshua Chirukara, right, were both sentenced over the tragic killing. They were shown a smashed mobile and pair of glasses and asked if they recognized them. Mr. Dorey revealed that he said something like "Oh Jesus Christ," and his wife recognized the phone as belonging to their son. He said, she knew that was the end of her life as she knew it. They were then taken to identify their son's body, at the same hospital he was born in. Hugh Dorey, William's father, revealed how he came across the scene of the crash. Not realizing it was where his son had died, they immediately realized it was their son and described the awful injuries to his head and face. Mr. Dorey described how his wife threw herself at the door as they left and said that her baby was dead. He also admitted that the family are still struggling to deal with the tragedy a year after it had happened. They left their son's school bag on the floor, where William had last left it, for 3 months. The family shared how their lives had been shattered by the boy racers for a few minutes of immature, selfish fun. Pictured is the Renault Megane that hit William Dorey.